This is TWiT.
So, in true Google fashion, last week, the day after our episode published, Android 12 Beta 2 was released. And this is actually kind of a considerable beta release. And we can talk all about it. One of the prime reasons for it being considerable is the fact that Material You is in full effect. Well, not full effect, actually. I should wheel that
not
back.
Full effect.
It's in some effect.
Yeah.
Material Almost You.
Yeah, Material You WIP, work in progress.
it better be a work in progress because Flo is not impressed.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. All right, hold your not impressed face.
I am.
The twitching of the mouth to the side. How does it go? Something like, no. Flo is not impressed.
All right,
there we go.
What thinking face emoji?
Right. Okay. So right at the top of the features is, of course, Material You tied into wallpaper. So as you can see, I've got this like kind of a light blue wallpaper, and it's automatically themed the quick settings. And I'm sure you saw my lock screen had some theming there too. If I go in here, I can do wallpaper, style. Let's see here. I'm going to do Living Universe and pick something different. So let's pick that one. It's a different hue. And I have had moments where I do this and it doesn't change things, but it does look like it changed things. What's weird, though, is that it doesn't always change. Like I don't know where in this image it came up with that like very different kind of purpley color. Not that it looks bad. It's just it doesn't look inspired by this image. I don't know. Maybe up there a little bit. I don't know.
What are your color settings on your phone set to? Are these accurate?
I don't know that it's that because, like when I go here, for example, right, I do the blue one that I had before. It like nails it. It's like, oh, yeah, see, now it's not even working. All right, it's beta. Well, there you go. That explains that.
Yeah, it's beta.
So, yeah, it is. In a perfect world, that would tie to it. If I restarted, I think it would kind of lock into place. You don't have any apps for the most part kind of syncing to that color palette the way we're expecting, the way they showed off at Google I/O. You also don't have the ability to manually tweak the color settings. It's kind of like it grabs the color that it thinks matches, which in this case is totally wrong. And then it syncs it. And I'm sure in a future version, we'll have the ability to do that. So let's start there, Flo. Is your disappointment in the Material You color palette thingy?
Yeah, I think what we were presented with all of the rendered images that came out when we were first introduced to this concept of Material You, I'm not seeing that. What I'm seeing are some bones of that and what may come to be. So I'm going to be patient. We've got 2 more betas after this to sink into. But what I have right now is, like, as you just mentioned, the color picking feature, it's still a little bit off. And granted, I think you can go in and tweak it. I haven't tried to do any of that yet. But what it did automatically, I was not satisfied with. It was a hue that was in a part of the picture that was such a small part of the picture that it made no, I wouldn't have naturally gravitated towards that. So I'm curious how the algorithm picked that out on its own. Like what made that particular part of the wallpaper that I chose. I forgot to link. I actually ended up posting last week to Twitter a screenshot of what the color it was that it picked out for me. And it was a significantly light blue on a picture that if you can see, let's see if this there you go. It picked out the light blue that if you're watching the video feed, you'll see the arcade cabinet. There's a blue. That's the blue that it ended up picking out. And it's just this light color that just doesn't match.
Yeah, it's not 100%. I have noticed in my playing around with it that I would get stuck in the loop that I'm kind of stuck in right now, where most of the time it doesn't end up changing the theme based on the wallpaper. And then I do the thing, where I like restart the phone and it catches it. This time it changed it. So it's almost like 50-50, right? That worked, yeah.
But then then let's go to the widgets menu. Okay. So sorry, Jason, I'm going to walk you through a demo.
All
go
right.
to the widgets
Where am I
menu.
going?
In the first
widgets or
tap
wallpaper?
on widgets. And yeah, as you can see, it's all shelved, but none of the widgets are the ones that we've been promised with this like dynamic change. The only thing that is significant is that you'll get a rounded corner by default now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, beta 2. I'm sure that these like drastically, modified widgets are on the horizon. Prior to this, we had no theming whatsoever tied to wallpaper, and now we have it a little bit. So yeah, totally baby steps. I would love to have more stuff in the widgets. I'd show off the conversation widget, except I don't want to show you my messages, so I'm going to not do that. But that wasn't here last version, if I remember correctly, in the beta 1. So they're adding over time. That's kind of what the beta is all about.
I was hoping they would add at least the clock widget so we could see, what that clock is supposed to look like, how it's supposed to, if you go to the clock widget right now, it's just analog and digital. Ooh, that's a bug. You can't even see the clock on that white background when you were hovering over it.
Pretty difficult to see.
Switch to digital.
So, what's that?
The digital
what
clock.
Was that? What about the digital clock?
Maybe it will work.
Are you a fan? Maybe we'll go ahead and find the digital clock and do it. And, it's just, it's basically what we're expecting. For those who are having a hard time remembering, or maybe you didn't see the tease, it's almost like these like cardboard cutout widgets. They're very 3-dimensional. They're very kind of like it's almost like it seems. Well, very material, right? It feels like it's a piece of paper kind of placed on the top of the background. That's the only way that I can really know to describe it. Instead of it being this like transparent kind of like seamless thing. I don't know if that's just going to be the look of all widgets when that happens or what, but we're certainly not there right now. I'll be curious to see when that happens. Yes.
Let's look at the privacy features.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the real sexy stuff, the privacy features.
Let's do that.
Well, it is sexy, right? Privacy. That's why there are a lot of Columbo episodes around scorned lovers. So,
yep.
So literally, it's kind of sexy. Okay, so quick settings is where you're going to find a lot of this stuff, or at least some of the stuff that I find interesting. Camera access and mic access. These are 2 buttons that didn't used to exist, and this is a system level shutoff. So if you're super paranoid, you're like, I don't want any app on my phone to have access to the camera or the mic, you can turn it off here, and that feed is not going to pass through the apps. It's blocked, as it says. So that's nice. Also have, if I go into my settings, into privacy and privacy dashboard, this is a new area that does illuminate how often location, camera, and microphone as 3 very important and revealing permissions, how often they're being used. And this is obviously, it's a little graph that shows you, that my location settings have been hit far more than my camera or my microphone. But now I can go into camera and I can see a timeline today of the apps that have accessed my camera. So I suppose you could go in here at the end of the day and realize, oh, hey, I never, launched, I don't know, Messages. I don't use Messages. I use another app. Why does Messages suddenly have my camera? Why did Messages suddenly grab my camera at 12:02? That's weird. That might be one use of this. Over the past 24 hours, it gives you that kind of like vertical list of how your location is being used. Citizen, obviously, using it a lot. Maps, of course. I did a lot of driving today. So that's neat. Am I missing something else that's privacy focused?
Yes. Do you want to show? Do you want to show the audience the little light that comes on when you turn on the camera?
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, and that's actually really cool. So okay, I will show you.
Sorry, I'm like guiding you through this, but
no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, so
I'm
we'll
producing
launch
now. No, I'm kidding.
First of all, let me make sure that I don't have them turned off. Okay, so the mic and the camera are turned on. They're active. If I go into the camera, for example, you're going to see now up in the top right-hand corner is a little video camera icon that it does shrink down to a little green dot. I don't know. I guess if you know that it's there, you'll see it, but it is kind of small to my eyes right now. If I'm recording, I should see both a microphone and a video camera. So I'm actively recording, and it's saying, yes, these two things are being used right now. So it gives you that on-screen kind of readout as far as what's being used at any given moment.
All right. So let's see. What else have we got? We've got the gestures. Does that work on your Pixel 5? You're on the Pixel 4a, actually.
I'm on the 4XL, so I don't have the ability to use the double tap on the back, but apparently that's a thing.
Well, I should have it. Let's see. How am I supposed to turn it on?
Oh, that's a really great question.
That is a great question.
I don't know.
All right,
maybe look
I'm
going to
go into the settings and try to
turn go into the settings and do a search for quick tap, and you'll probably find it. And the idea of this setting, of course,
I found it. I'm going to turn it on.
Is that if you have this on, you can double tap your finger on the back of the Pixel phone, and it will launch an action that you determine.
Let's do this very badly placed demo on the webcam. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. There it goes. It was supposed to bring up the assistant.
Yeah, it did.
Nope.
It did. Down at the
Stop
bottom.
listening to me. Okay.
Good work. Good work.
Just did the Lord's work.
Excellent. One thing that I'm not too fond of, I wonder how you feel about this, Flo, is, I think we talked about it earlier, is that Wallet is now moved into quick settings. And
I got to tell you,
with that.
This is,
I don't mind that.
This is not going to make me happy. So this morning, Tuesday mornings are like I got to go get coffee beans. And so by now I need to get gas in the car. So I went and I got gas this morning. What I love to do is, because my Chevron now, it has all the NFC payments, I just use my phone, take it out of a little cradle in the car, hold down the power button, tap it, throw it back in the car. It's just like this seamless experience. I understand that moving it to the quick settings is supposed to, I guess, the idea being your phone's already unlocked. You're just going to swipe down and turn it on. But I'm thinking about this. I don't know. It's why take away the power menu after you spent 2 versions getting us acclimated to it?
Yeah, because change, I guess. Because, they did this not only with, I'll show that, right? If I hold down the power button, this is the new power menu. It's a simplified power menu.
That's like everything's gone.
Yeah, everything's gone. All you have are your emergency features, your lockdown, power, restart. It's literally, again, just a power menu with the emergency feature built into it. If you want to do any changes to your Google Wallet setup, Wallet's still going to work without going in here. If you're on your main screen and you hold this up to a reader, if you have Wallet set up, it's still going to catch it. You don't have to go into that quick setting in order to do it. That's, I feel like, the less offensive one. The one that really gets me is the device control. In order for me to control all my smart home devices, on an older version, all I had to do was hold down the power button, and boom, I had all the controls there, and I could go right into it. Now I have to unlock my phone, pull down, maybe I'll save myself a step by 2-finger pulling down, tap into device controls, and now I have access. It's like 4 to 5 steps to do what took me 1 step before, and I hate it when that happens.
It's so tedious.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, for interrupting.
That's a bummer. No.
Yeah.
I got to say that it was a bummer. That's what I wanted to do.
Because it's already so tedious to do smart home stuff. Right now, I'm just like using the Google Home app on the launcher, which is ridiculous. I should use the power menu. But as it stands, putting it into the quick settings, that's why I stopped using those apps that would let you put like a shortcut in the quick settings on your own, because I realized this is way too much work. There's got to be a better way. And I would love it if we could just make a widget.
I don't want a widget. I want what was there, which is the power menu thing. That works for me.
Well, it's just at least if you're gonna give me the option to hide it in the quick settings, give me the option to make it a widget. That's how I'm feeling about that.
Ron, what do you think? And you aren't running the Android 12 Beta 2, but you're seeing our stuff with it. What do you think?
Yeah, for these reasons alone, like I don't install the betas because my phone is my daily driver. I'm also doing app testing and stuff like that, so I need it to be in a secure, kind of like a predictable environment. But it's tough because it's the challenge. Because Jason, I feel like you and Flo will get acclimated to this before it drops through the wide release, where I'm going to have this kind of like ramp up when it does come out. But like it's tough because here's a clear case where you want access to what was there and now it's gone and it's not coming back, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, these are changes we're gonna have to come to terms with.
Yeah, I mean, but that's been life as an Android user, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Do you trust the maker? That's the question. Like, do you trust the team? All the friends of the show that we've interviewed over the years, all the great folks that we know, Dave and everybody, like all those folks, they have a vision, and this is the culmination of that vision. And the question is whether or not we trust them and trust that they're making good decisions for the better of all the users, right?
It's a religious decision. Do you trust your maker?
Yep.
Your maker is Google. Do you trust them? I have gone one step further and gone to the issue tracker on Google under a topic there that is all about the device control being missing from the power menu. I have done my part. I have started and said, hey, I don't like the new version as much as I like the old version. It's probably not going to make a lick of difference, but I've done what I can, and now it's out of my hands.
Stop the presses. Jason Howell said he does not like what we did to the power menu. We need to go back to square one.
But here's the thing. Like, do I want to revert? Like, I kind of don't want to do that either.
But here's the thing, though. This is the beta. This isn't the final release. Maybe the next version they do revert. I mean, we've seen that happen.
They've done that.
Right?
They've done it. So. Yeah, we'll see. I'd be surprised, though. It really looks like they're trying to simplify the power menu. And I can understand the thinking of putting it into the quick settings, but it's just not nearly as convenient as it was. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're running beta software. Like, really, if this beta track did not exist, we would know nothing about any of these iterations. It would just be, here's a release, and all of these decisions and all of these machinations happen behind the scenes to get here, but you never knew about any of it because we did it all internally. And now they're making that a public experience. So, of course, there's going to be bumps in the road. It's just the way it goes.
What experience do you prefer? Do you prefer the completely dialed in, aware, going through every step of the way, or the ignorance is bliss? Oh, I've got a new version I need to deal with. Like what is better? I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the ignorance is bliss approach is, because as long as there's been betas, I've been hopping on it primarily, because like I do this show and I feel like I need to know these things to be able to talk about them. So it's all, it's the same question as like, what does it feel like to have the same phone for 3 years and to use it and make it your phone? I have no idea, because I haven't done that since I started doing these shows, or at least until, since years ago, when I'm always getting new review devices. So it keeps me from doing that. And sometimes I'm like, I kind of want that because it's simpler. But I don't know how you feel about that, Flo, because you live that life too.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that I have, I'm very privileged that I have different phones to play with, so I can just.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one phone here that's looking at this, and one phone here it's looking at this, and it's for the same reason. It's all for the lab testing of it all. It's all for the experience of it all. I really want to get Ron's perspective, though, when Android 12 is finally live. Like, I want us to just. Ron, you should have the floor and come at us with all of your just feelings and first reaction, like a reaction video.
Sure, yeah, we'll totally do that. Totally.
Yeah, because I think that is that's going to be the real way to discern the impact of this version, not by what Jason and I are, digging into.
Right.
At the same time, I'm watching this Material You journey. Because, again, those press renders promised me something.
Oh, yeah.
Beta.
And I want that vision.
They'll either get there or they'll give you a fence that you can't remove from photos.